Hey, good evening, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregoneer, YouTuber, creator, host with the most, missing the still lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging with me on the 50th episode of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition show. We got jam-packing topics that we got to get to today. And if you miss any previous episodes, don't worry, I got you back. And yes. So if you miss any episodes, don't worry. So let's get to the YouTube channel. Grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And of course, be sure to tap the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the sports topics that's going to be discussed. And reminder of the time and recording of the live stream. So stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And of course, tell a friend to another friend. Make sure you download these episodes. Make sure you listen, stream, watch these episodes. And yeah, I'll handle the rest at the end of the show. So, you can go ahead and support this show right here, along with the other podcast shows that I do on a weekly basis, by going to my Cash App, which is G Money Stacks 555. That's $ capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. Yes, once again, it's not about breaking the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you are comfortable with, that you desire will be appreciated. So there you have it right there. And yes, by the way, we're live and direct from StreamYard, alongside with YouTube, and aside of myself is the Instagram live feed. So make sure you turn on your notifications so you can see me in action on the Instagram live feed of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. So make sure you follow that page. So I'm going to be on the Instagram live feed alongside with YouTube as well. So without further ado, of course, obviously, I just finished watching the Vikings and the Giants. So far they already won the wild card, and they're already in the playoffs right now. So hopefully they'll be able to make it to Super Bowl 57. I'm gonna give a reminder of where you can watch Super Bowl 57 in episode 52. So stay tuned for that one right here. All right, so without further ado, let's get to our main primary segment right here, which is the quick side bleacher ball. We got some sports topics to get to. Let's do this. All right. Starting with the Brooklyn Nets. So a little recap of a topic, actually. So starting with the Brooklyn Nets. So this is pertaining to the Brooklyn Nets bringing in a veteran NBA exec. So let's get into it. The Brooklyn Nets just made an upgrade to the basketball operations staff, adding former NBA executive Jeff Bauer in a scouting role. Basketball insider Mark Stein reported that the former Pistons GM has joined the Nets. Bauer joins the franchise after a short stint with the Phoenix Suns, where he served as senior vice president of basketball operations. He left the position following the Phoenix Suns 2021 NBA Finals run. Bauer helped rebuild the Suns team, helping add Chris Paul to the roster. He had a variety of positions for the Hornets during their rebuild through Hurricane Katrina and served as both the general manager and head coach for stint. So yeah. Um all right, so let's see what we got here. All right, let's go do some Stephen Curry, man. Let's go to Stephen Curry. Um Wait a minute here. Did I even I think I saw this. Wait a second here. Wait a minute here. Um, just a sec. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. The plane was passing by. Okay, anyway. So speaking of Steph Curry, excuse me, Steph Curry. All right, so this is according to Sports Illustrated. All right, so Sunday afternoon, the Golden State Warriors lost 132 to 118 to the Chicago Bulls at the United Center in Illinois. Two-time MVP Steph Curry finished his day with 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and one block in 34 minutes of playing time. In addition, Curry made NBA history by passing Pau Gasol to move into 41st on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Via the Warriors, Steph Curry has passed Paul Gasol for the 41st on the NBA's all-time points list. Gasol scored 20,894 points over 1,226 regular season games, while Curry has only played 855 regular season games. Wow, that's a lot right there. Let's see. Let's see. At just 34 years old, Curry will likely get much further down the list by the end of his career. The full-time NBA champion has led the Warriors to the NBA Finals in 6 out of the last 8 seasons, excuse me. And They won 4 titles in that span. With the loss on Sunday, they are now 21, 22 in 43 games and 4-17 in 21 games on the road away from the Chase Center. They are 17-5 at home. The defending NBA champions have gotten off to a mediocre start to the season, but have played better over the last few weeks. Earlier this season, Curry missed 11 games in a row due to a shoulder injury, but he has played in the last 3 games. Ouch. He came into Sunday with averages of 29.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 1.0 steals per contest on 49.5% shooting from the field and 42.6% from the three-point range. The Warriors will play their next game on Monday when they visit the Washington Wizards. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, we got a little Apple Music situation that we need to get to. So this episode right here is about Apple Music. Of course, that's so Apple Music fills in for the Super Bowl halftime show over Pepsi. Now, here's what's happening with this one. Yes, so Apple Music, as you may heard, is filling in for Pepsi. So Apple Music will take over as the sponsor of the NFL Super Bowl halftime show, replacing Pepsi as the key backer of the annual spectacle that typically draws one of the biggest single TV audiences of the year. Hold on. Yes, shout outs to the people from Pick Six with Noah and Nick. Shout outs to you folks right there. All right, so yeah, here we go. So music and sports hold a special place in our hearts. So we're very excited Apple Music will be part of music and football's biggest stage, said Oliver Schuster, excuse me. Apple's vice president of Apple Music and Beats in a prepared statement. Hold up. Okay, end quote. We're looking forward to even more epic performances next year and beyond with the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show, which I will talk about that in a future episode with the details of where you can watch it. I don't have it right now, so you have to stick around for episode 52. I will give some details behind it, so stick around for that one. Apple has in recent months shown a greater interest in sports. Its streaming platform has struck deals with Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer to show games to subscribers. Sports rights have long been the province of traditional media companies like Fox, Disney, Paramount Global, and NBC Universal. But technology companies like Apple and Amazon have made a bigger play for those rights rights as they seek to lure consumers to their new broadband subscription video services. Amazon, for its part, is now a major NFL partner thanks to its control of rights to Thursday Night Football. The first Super Bowl with Apple as the halftime sponsor will take place on Sunday, February 12th, 2023 in Glendale, Arizona. Yeah, mark your calendars, February 12th, 2023. I will let you know where you can watch it in a future episode. Apple Music expects in coming months to offer sneak peeks of its ideas via its social handle at Apple Music on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We couldn't think of a more appropriate partner for the world's most watched musical performance than Apple Music, a service that entertains, inspires, and motivates millions of people around the world through the intersection of music and technology, said Nanaya Asamoah, Senior Vice President of Partner Strategy for the NFL, in a statement. The league said more than 120 million viewers watched the halftime show that accompanied Super Bowl 56. Yes, this year's 57. Yes, Super Bowl 56. The extravaganza featured Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar, marking the first time these five artists performed together on stage. Under Pepsi, other halftime performances have included The Weeknd, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and Bruno Mars. But Pepsi said in May that it would not return as the halftime show sponsor in 2022, choosing to walk away from a decade-long association that moved the event away from a roster of primarily rock musicians like Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in favor of a new group of artists who are favored by the younger generations that advertisers and the NFL seek to court. The NFL was said to be seeking significantly higher annual payments for the sponsorship rights. For years, each halftime show was treated largely one-off event. With a new sponsor coming in each year, Coca-Cola and Oscar Mayer were among the program's earliest backers. In 2000, outline broker E-Trade kicked off a 3-year stint as the sponsor of the event. Tire manufacturer Bridgestone in 2008 aligned itself with the halftime program for 5 years, supporting The Who, the Black Eyed Peas, and Madonna, among others. Pepsi, which initially sponsored the halftime show for Super Bowl, I believe. Wait, was it 42? Yeah, Super Bowl 42 in 2007, which featured Prince, launched its 10-year sponsorship of the mid-game performance in 2013. Yeah, how about that though? And of course, what else we got to talk about here in this episode? Oh yeah, we got some Mets stuff that we have to talk about here too. Now this one really got me. This one really got me when they actually they traded away James McCann. So there's a reason behind this too. So let's get into it. So the New York Mets have traded catcher James McCann to the Baltimore Orioles for a player to be named later, the team announced on Wednesday night. With $24 million remaining on the 4-year, $40.6 million deal, he signed prior to the 2021 season, the Mets will still pay roughly $19 million of it, while the Orioles paid the remaining $5 million. Such a move was likely the only way to facilitate a deal for the 32-year-old who struggled mightily during his tenure in Queens. In 182 games with the Mets over 2 seasons, McCann slashed 220 point 282 point 328, a 610 OPS with 13 home runs and 64 RBIs. It was nowhere near the kind of production he had posted over his previous 6 years with the Detroit Tigers and Chicago White Sox, especially his last 2 years before joining the Mets, offering false hope that the team was able to acquire a legitimate alternative to JT Realmuto, who has gone to who has gone on to star with the Philadelphia Phillies. Getting McCann off the roster clears up the log jam the team had created at catchers after signing Omar Navarez last week. At the moment, he and Tomas Nido will provide the catching rotation until number one prospect Francisco Alvarez ultimately proves that he is ready for the rigors of a number one catcher's role at the major league level. Okay. So there's been a lot of talk about Carlos Correa. Um, so yeah. So Carlos Correa, right? Now now I don't know if that's really official, but this is kind of like, I guess you could say it's probably like a I guess this is probably like a rumor in the air type thing. So here's what's going on with the whole Carlos Correa thing. So Carlos Correa's 12-year, $315 million contract with the New York Mets was put on hold because of some questions that arose with the player during his physicals. Hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if Correa doesn't become a Met player. A person close to the situation told New York Post reporter John Heyman. Elite MLB players like Aaron Judge and Justin Verlander signed new deals, but Correa's story has become the most memorable of the offseason. And 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 on Twitter, I believe Shea Stadium. Of course, Steve Cohen is seeking approval from MLB and MLBPA about unique clauses being included in Carlos Correa's contract per KNBR. So, Correa's drama between the San Francisco Giants and the New York Mets. Oh boy. It all looked fine and dandy as Correa agreed to a 13-year, um, $350 million contract with the San Francisco Giants, but that fell apart when the team became concerned about an old leg injury after a physical. The Mets jumped at the chance to add the star shortstop and agreed to a 12-year, $315 million contract. Okay, why would you need Carlos Correa to be playing shortstop when they already have Francisco Lindor playing shortstop? Like, come on now. I don't know, man, but I don't know that's gonna really happen. But we'll wait and see. However, the deal is on hold after similar concerns arose in the physical. Given the events with the Giants and the demand for Correa to be an impact player, it would be understandable for fans to assume he won't sign with the Mets either. However, Heyman listed a number of reasons why the shortstop will remain in New York, including the desire for both the player and team owner Steve Cohen to make it happen. In addition, Scott Barras, Correa's agent, reached out to Cohen while negotiating deals for Max Scherzer and Brandon Nimmo, who's already back with the Mets with an 8-year contract, of course. And ending this potential pairing could jeopardize that relationship. And some teams have been calling, but even a week after the Mets deal, they are being told it's just a Mets game for now, Heyman wrote. So few absences over the past 3 seasons, while Correa has dealt with injury issues in the past and appeared in just 75 games in 2019 after playing 109 in 2017 and 110 in 2018. He has been fairly doable of late. So he missed just 2 games during the abbreviated 2020 campaign, appeared in 148 in 2021, and played 136 in 2022. Which team ends up with him? They will get a player with a World Series title, Gold Glove, Platinum Glove, Rookie of the Year, and 2 All-Star selections on his resume. He can impact the game with his bat and glove, and is only 28 years old. Well, there's some more stories about Carlos Correa, but I'll probably save those things for future episodes and stuff. So, and keeping on with the Mets, rumor in the air has surfaced. Rumor in the air has surfaced actually. So from January 10th, Mets showing interest in Britton. With Carlos Correa heading back to the Twins, the Mets have to turn around and figure out where else they can improve their team this winter. According to MLB Network insider John Heyman, they are looking toward the bullpen and have shown interest in left-handed reliever Zack Britton. Britton spent his first 8 years in the majors playing for an Orioles team led by current Mets manager Buck Showalter, who won Manager of the Year. His bullpen coach from 2014 to 16 in Baltimore was Dom Chiti, whom the Mets recently hired for the same role. Britton was at his best during those years, highlighted by a 2016 campaign in which he allowed 4 earned runs over 67 innings, secured an AL best, 47 saves, and finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. Wow. Hold on. From 2014 to 20, the sinker specialist was spectacular out of the bullpen, recording a 1.84 ERA, of a 1.05 WHIP, and a mere 15 home runs allowed through 367 and 1/3 innings. But he has been sidetracked by injuries recently. Britton missed most of the 2021 season after undergoing left elbow surgery near the end of spring training. He returned that summer, made 18 appearances for the Yankees, and posted a 5.89 ERA before he underwent Tommy John surgery in September. He made his 2022 debut near the end of the regular season and walked six batters in just two-thirds of an inning. After just 3 games, he was placed on the 60-day injured list due to left shoulder fatigue. The Sorry about the plane. I had to lower the volume. All right, so the Mets have already made two impactful re-signings with their pen this offseason, bringing back closer Edwin Diaz and middle reliever Adam Ottavino. Um, and on December 13th, most recently, excuse me, um, Mets listening to offers for Carrasco report. The Mets have added a glut of talent this offseason, signing or re-signing the likes of Justin Verlander, Jose Quintana, as I previously talked about, especially with I already talked about the re-signing of Edwin Diaz, the Brandon Nimmo. There's David Robertson, and the recent topic was Kodai Senga. So, all right, so all right, so this is from a particular source, but it might be time for the New York Mets to trade away one of his own. No, I don't know about that one right there. MLB Network insider Joe Sherman reported in the New York Post that the Mets are listening to offers for starting pitcher Carlos Carrasco. The Mets surmise that Tyler McGill or David Peterson have a pretty good chance of outperforming Carrasco in 2023. They believe the rise in free agent prices, notably for starting pitchers, will make Carrasco an appealing piece at 1 year and $14 million for all of those shut out of the pricey market. Think teams such as the Twins, Royals, and probably at least five or six more. Fansided, Fansided's Robert Murray included the Angels as another team that could make sense for the 35-year-old righty. Now, that's just a rumor about Carrasco. Um, the Mets picked up Carrasco's $14 million option in November. He made 29 starts this past season, registering a 3.97 ERA over 152 innings. The Mets additions have taken their payroll far beyond even the most punitive competitive balance tax threshold of $293 million for next season. Fangraphs projects the Mets to have a CBT figure of nearly $350 million for 2023. Now, for those of you that's listening in the sports world that don't know what CBT is, I'm going to break this down to you or what it is actually, so you can get a better understanding here. So, what is a CBT? Um, so it's wait a minute in base. No, hold on. Wait a minute here. Okay, hold on a second. What is a CBT in baseball terms? Okay, so this stands for the competitive balance tax. So basically, a team's competitive balance tax is a figure is determined using the average annual value of each player's contract on the 40-man roster, plus any additional player benefits. Every team's final CBT figure is calculated at the end of each season. So that's pretty much what this is, though. Um, okay, so and so the competitive balance tax is the fancy name MLB gave its soft salary cap, which penalizes teams for spending too much on players. The competitive balance tax, or CBT, has been around 2003, and the current threshold is $230 million. Only a handful of teams even come close to the CBT threshold each year. So that's your definition of what a CBT is and what it stands for. So here we go. All right. All right. Once the luxury tax penalties are added, that number could climb beyond $420 million. And however, Sherman wrote that dealing Carrasco is more of a baseball move for the Mets rather than a financial one. The ideal return would be a projectable young starter with options and a chance to contribute as soon as this coming season. The Mets worry about what Carrasco can bring in 2023 due to age, um, which is in age 36 in March. Okay, so and injury history. Okay. All right. I think I can get actually. All right. So let's get into what else we got on the agenda today. Um, we talked about Zack Britton. Um, oh yeah, in other Mets news, this is regarding Steve Cohen. Well, let's get into it though. We're gonna get into it right now though, and this is very exclusive, by the way, folks. So I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but um, so let's get into it though. So while the New York Mets introduced new pitcher Kodai Senga to the media at Citi Field Monday, December 19th, owner Steve Cohen um, will be will also be announcing the launch of a new public outreach initiative that could have a greater impact on the area surrounding the ballpark. When Cohen purchased the New York Mets for $2.4 billion in 2020, he made it clear that he viewed owning the team as a civic responsibility that extends beyond the walls of Citi Field. So, in addition to introducing his free agent signing from Japan, Cohen announced the first of a series of public visioning sessions will be held at Citi Field on Saturday, January the 7th, which probably happened already, to get community feedback on how to reimagine the 50 acres of parking around the stadium as an entertainment complex that could potentially house a casino. The visioning sessions follows months of discussions between Cohen team officials and community groups and leaders over the wasted opportunity. The parking lots to the west of the ballpark aren't serving the public to their full potential and instead serve as a barrier that divides neighborhoods from each other and nearby communities from the waterfront along Flushing Bay. End quote. For months, we have been listening to the local community who keeps telling us there is more they want from the area, Cohen said. Everyone agrees that the status quo is unacceptable. In addition to connecting the surrounding neighborhoods by creating easy and safe waterfront access, increasing walkability and cycling access, and improving transportation access, Cohen believes that entertainment the is the economic engine that could make the 50-acre area a destination every day of the year, regardless of the weather or if it's baseball season, turning the area in, into an entertainment destination with live music, restaurants, bars, and a casino would create thousands of good paying jobs throughout the construction process for years into the future. Cohen is also committed to hiring locally, supporting minority and women-owned businesses, and providing workforce training programs. We are committed to forward a vision for the area that will create a shared space that people not only want to come to and enjoy, but can be proud of, Cohen said. The city's plan to build 2,500 affordable homes and a 25,000 seat soccer stadium is a separate development to the east of Citi Field. The visionary sessions are not related to the city's plan. The vision the visioning sessions announcement comes after Cohen, the richest owner in Major League Baseball, went on an unpre, unpre, unprecedented unprecedented free agent shopping spree earlier this month, which saw him dole out $360 million in contracts to Justin Verlander, Sanger, Jose Quintana, David Robertson, and bringing back center fielder and homegrown star Brandon Nimmo. The free agent signing bonanza cushioned the blow of losing two Cy Young award-winning ace Jacob deGrom, who walked away from Citi Field to sign with the Texas Rangers. If Cohen wants to build a casino as part of his new entertainment venue, he will need all of his business acumens to gain the support of a number of civic associations in northern Queens who expressed their opposition to Citi Field as a potential casino site last December. The visioning sessions will provide a seat at the table for the community in the process that a number of civic groups say have been ignored by the NYS, which is New York State Gaming Commission, after they responded to a request for information issued by the commission for a report that was supposed to be released on June 10th. The civic groups discovered that the Gaming Commission never prepared the report when a FOIA request submitted by Whitestone resident Robert Loscalzo to the legislature turned up no records on it. In their responses to the commission, RFI, the civic leaders maintain that the area to the west of Citi Field is public parkland within Flushing Meadows Flushing Meadows Corona Park, and cannot be built upon for commercial purposes. Other concerns they included were traffic volume and quality of life issues that a casino would bring to the area. The commission probably expected to get an outpouring of support for their grand economic engine, but we sent them serious pushback from communities who will be potentially harmed by casino licensing. Northwest Bayside Civic Association President Jenna Lanzetta said, instead of being transparent and sharing our reactions in a report the commission is obligated to produce. They decided not to do the report. The civic leaders and the Queen's Civic Congress, which represents the interests of more than 60 civic associations across the borough, sent a letter to Governor Kathy Hochul in October urging her to intervene with the Gaming Commission so that there would be confidence in the upcoming casino licensing process. The state is expected to award 3 full casino licenses in New York City in 2023, which is what we're in right now. While Resorts World New York City in South Ozone Park is considered to have an inside track on one of the 3 downstate full casino licenses, Queensboro President Donovan Richards had an interesting take in it in a recent Max Politics podcast. Resorts World has been a good neighbor. I mean, they've contributed a lot to education, billions of dollars. They've been a good neighbor in Southern Queens for sure, Richards said. Steve Cohen has also been a good neighbor. At the height of the slamdemic, he contributed $18 million in grants to help small businesses. One of the things we've been clear about is right across the train tracks is neighborhoods like Corona, which have been hit hard during the slamdemic. We want to make sure that even as Willets is developed, Willets Point to be exact, even with the possibility of a casino, that we're also focusing on a lot of the community benefits that need to also be a part of this plan. Yeah. This shit is going to be fucking interesting and amazing. I tell you this. I mean, look, I know I kind of read somewhere that there is opposition in regards to the opposition of the people in communities who don't really want it as far as like anything. But at the same time, you see, at the same time, the economy is in a struggle right now because of the slamdemic and stuff, which really caused a lot of jobs to be lost. So many businesses closed down and stuff. So it's very hard for people to, you gotta really think about the people who lost their jobs though, man, during the slamdemic. And it's just, I'm gonna try to keep track on this story too, man. See what's going on with this for you sports people out there. I'm gonna try my best. All right, so it happened. So it took place on January the 7th. So that's pretty much what this is. So yeah. So there you have it right there. I'll keep track of this story, you know what I mean? And what's going on with Jeff McNeil? That's the question. Hold on a sec. That's the question. Okay, so let's see. And this is from amny.com. Consider Jeff McNeil as one of the gems of the Mets' embarrassment of riches should they get this college career deal over the finish line. No, I'm not so sure about that one right there. So already possessing one of the deeper lineups in the National League with a premier power hitters in Pete Alonso and one of the best offensive shortstops in the game in Francisco Lindor, McNeil is a pure hitter as they come in today's game. Fresh off a batting title where He batted 326 in 2022. Should the Correa deal finally come to an end with the Mets emerging as the victors, manager Buck Showalter has a bounty of talent to formulate just his top six. So obviously, as I talked about, Brandon Nimmo actually came back to the Mets, obviously. And of course, you have Starlin Marte, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso. Um, that's a big if, man. That's a big if about the whole Carlos Correa situation. That's a big if. That's a big if, though, man. Just saw the statement that he's going back to the Twins. So, considering McNeil standing as the reigning batting champ, there will be an understandable school of thought that would speculate the 30-year-old lefty batting toward the bottom of the lineup in hopes of stretching out the Mets' attack and setting the table for the top of the order. After all, he posted a 382 on base percentage last season and would provide as good a security blanket as it gets in the number 7 or 8 spot with Mark Canna, Daniel Vogelback, and either Tomas Nido, Omar Narvaez, or maybe Francisco Alvarez rounding out the starting 9. The answer seems clear that it's in the number 6 spot. What makes McNeil as invaluable to the Mets lineup is his ability to produce for the most part through different parts of the order. And New York's most glaring hole in production last year was from the number 5 spot behind Pete Alonso, with Mets batters posting a paltry 653 OPS, ranked 8th of 9 batting positions, with 70 RBIs, ranked 7th of 9. Correa would likely rectify that lack of production again, should the Mets and Scott Boras strike an agreement, considering McNeil last season was least productive from the 5 hole, where he had his most plate appearances of the campaign, 165. It forced Showalter to rely on Vogelback, who struggled to rise to the occasion, mostly because he's not the kind of ball player to inhabit that role. In 28 fewer plate appearances in the 6th spot, McNeil batted 104 points higher, .357 with 9 more hits and an 868 OPS. It would allow him to remain in the top 2/3 of the lineup while boosting a number 6 hole that saw decent production from Mets batters last season, and make New York's 1-6 one of the most relentless units in baseball. Again, that's if Correa winds up in Queens. Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting though. I don't know, but you know, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna really happen though, as far as the career situation. But I'll save my thoughts on that one in a future podcast episode right here. So it is what it is, man. So let's all right, let's go to a segment that I haven't got a chance to do in a long time. So let's get into podcast free game mechanisms right here. All right. So this is one of the segments about people that are interested in making a podcast, and I'll let you know some key important equipments that you need. So let's get into it right about right about now. All right. Now for those of you who may or may not know, um, this is the segment about people who are people who are interested in making a podcast, like myself, who has 3 podcast shows under my belt. The first equipment that you need is some headphones, and you also need a microphone. Now, it doesn't have to be anything too expensive. It could be something simple. It could be a Yeti microphone. It could be an Voxcon microphone like I'm using right now. A Voxcon A800 is the model that I'm using. And you also need a laptop. Now, if you have a laptop, you can also plug your laptop to you can also, excuse me, you could plug your microphone to your laptop. Or you can even get a USB extension cord like I'm using right now to connect the ring lights, to connect the microphone on, and of course, you know the rest. And another key important thing that you need is a supporting software. But first, let me discuss the unique name for a podcast. If you have a unique name for a podcast, you want to make sure that it sticks to you. You want to make sure that it not only makes sense, but you also want to make sure that that there's a story behind it. So speaking of stories, you want to also have um, a supporting software, which is StreamYard, which is what I'm using right now. Now, StreamYard is a software that I use for my YouTube channels of my podcast recordings. You got this one right here, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports YouTube channel. You also have I also have Meticulous Values podcast, the review show, and of course my YouTube channel of G Money Stacks 555, where you see um all the Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast episodes on there, which is already uploaded and posted. And you can also use Facebook. You can also use LinkedIn, which I don't really use, and you can also use Twitch. Now, I stopped using Twitch because they delete the videos at a certain periods of time. So I'm like not using Twitch anymore. Um, so yeah, there you have it right. There you have it right there. And the hosting site that I use, in case nobody don't know, I use Anchor. Anchor is one of the hosting sites that I use to distribute the podcast um episodes to every streaming platform that I just do on a weekly basis. Like this one right here. A while back I did add Wednesdays, and I did add Wednesdays with Thursdays. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, you're gonna be getting the the episodes. The episodes are going to be dropped on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So there you have it right there. And also, don't let anybody stop you from doing what you love to do as far as anything goes, as far as anything. Like, don't let anybody tell you how to do your thing with your own podcast or how to monetize or whatever case scenario may be, man. That's nobody's fucking business but yours. You know what I'm saying? You be surprised. You be surprised that people are making money without monetizing. You be surprised. I'm not you be surprised right there. I'm not surprised. So, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a lane on their own. I have my own lane and so does certain people. So I'm not worried about everybody else, man. You don't need to worry about everybody else, though. You have to do you. That's all you can do is do you. And so yeah, there you have it right there, folks. Okay, so another important thing that I want to talk about before I go into the last segment is it's important to be yourself when you are behind the microphone. You have to be not only authentic, but also you have to be organic, you got to be natural. Everything comes naturally, all right? So you don't have to worry about um you don't have to worry about anything else but be yourself. That's all I got to say on that one. And now for the last segment of the night in sports, of course, is stream choices on the go. Here we go right here. Here we go. All right. You like what you heard in today's sports episode, especially this one right here. You can go ahead and follow Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition show on Instagram, alongside with the review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and alongside with my number one handle, which is Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, with 225 episodes on there. And you can also follow me on the handle, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Now, don't forget to turn your notifications so you can see me in action on Instagram Live on each episode recording. So you want to make sure you have a reminder that I'm going to be on Instagram Live. So you know what I'm saying. So there you have it right there. And I'm going to point out to some streaming platforms where you can actually listen to the episodes. So, and without further ado, we're going to get into it right now. We're getting into it right now. So here it is. You can listen to the episodes on Anchor, of course. And by the way, you can leave a voice message on anchor.fm/gmoneystacks 0/message. And of course, speaking of Anchor, that's where we're going to start with. So Anchor is where you can listen to the episodes alongside with Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating on Podchaser alongside with Spotify and along with Apple Podcasts and Podfriend. 5-star rating will be appreciated. Don't forget to rate. That's all I could tell you, right? Don't forget to rate. All right. And you can also listen to the episodes of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition show, episodes on Radio Public alongside with iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. And you don't need a credit card or a debit card to download iHeartRadio or any of the apps that I just mentioned. And also, by the way, make sure you follow Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show on iHeartRadio, as well as Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast as well. So make sure you follow both of my podcasts, including this one right here that's also on iHeartRadio as well. And of course, Make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast sports edition show YouTube channel page. So be sure to not only grab that subscribe button, but also click on the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the episodes with the sports topics. And be sure to stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And of course, be sure to download these episodes, listen, stream, and watch these episodes in case you miss any of them. And share the videos, share the episodes. Be sure to tell a friend to another friend, and be sure to share the link that says Linktree / Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, of course, which is with the audio streaming platforms that's also included with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends, the people you cool with, and who you met at an event, wherever else you meet people. All right. So that's gonna do it for me right here, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you very much for listening to episode 50. And of course, I will see y'all next time in the next episode. Don't forget to and don't forget, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you work hard, you're gonna earn something in the end. And New York wasn't built in a day. It's a process. You gotta trust the process, and be sure to find your voice. Be confident in what you do with your craft, behind the art, behind anything you're trying to do. So be sure to be confident in what you do. Be sure to be consistent with what you're doing, whether it's creating content like me, being a podcaster, and whatever career field you're interested in. So I want to make sure I don't forget to mention this. Don't forget to catch up on the episodes. In case you miss any of them, don't you worry. Everything is all uploaded to the YouTube channel page and streaming platforms whatsoever. And also find something and look for something that clicks to you, that gets you into your zone while you are on your P's and Q's with confidence. All right. That's what I wanted to mention right there, man. I'm up out of here. Thank you very much for listening, tuning in, and rocking with me. Peace and one love. And I'll see y'all next time in the next episode on Tuesday. So don't forget to turn on your notifications, your reminders, because I will be back on Tuesday with the next new topics, new sports. You just name it, though. So I'm up out of here, man. Peace and one love. And of course, don't forget to tune into the playoffs. And of course, I will be telling you on where you can watch the Super Bowl 57. Super Bowl 57 on Fox. I will actually let you know the time and everything else. So there you have it right there. So peace and one love and good night, folks.